Alright guys, welcome back to this channel. Today let's try something different. Alright, let's do something different. Let's analyze a different trade. As you can see, this is a bullish trend. I just drew this diagram to show you guys something. This is a bullish trend at this point. So when you have a situation like this in the market whereby the price is just at this supply zone here, it might be that there's a liquidity sweep. You are always seeing the candle wick closing above the supply zone like this, or it can still be a candlestick closing above the supply zone. What are you going to do? Just think about it for a moment. Now for me, I will wait for either the continuation of this bullish move, for either price to keep going up and retrace before I can keep buying, or if price is retracing, then I'll wait for price to retrace to at least a discount point. But before I wait for that, I can still trade it. But before I trade it, I have to wait for a good confirmation, like a shift of structure right here to trade, because price can still do something like this. Price can do something like this, go to this demand zone, and then gain more liquidity, collect more liquidity at this discount, because this demand zone is also a discount point. Collect more liquidity and then the real move will now happen. So something like this can happen. All right, something like this can happen, and also something like this can also happen. Something like this can also happen. Something like this can also happen. Price can keep going up like this, and then just like this. So you see, so we don't want to predict the markets. I've always been saying this. We don't want to predict the market. We want to react to what the market is giving us. So let's see what the market is giving us. All right. Now this trade has already played out. By the way, this trade has already played out. I want to show you what I did. Now this is just how the analysis looks like. All right. So let's go to the chart quickly. All right. Right now we are on the chart. So as you can see from this angle, BTC USD is bullish. All right, completely bullish. Now look at this. Price was bullish to this point, and then we had this deep retracement, this deep pullback right here. So after this deep pullback, price gave us this internal high and then retrace. After this deep pullback right here, gave us this internal high and retrace, and we had the break of structure right here. So now let me take out all this. Let me take out all this and explain a clean chart for you guys so you can understand me better. All right, so here we are now. All right, so as you can see, price was bullish, and this was the highest point price traded into. Lastly, right here, this was the highest point price traded into. At this point, I have to make sure that the line is clean and straight. Right there was the last point price traded into. All right, so I'm waiting for a break of structure to the upside to know that the market is still bullish. All right, so we can wait for that clean retracement. But look at what the market did. Price retraced to this point, went up, giving us a break of structure right here. Sorry, a shift of structure, because when price was retracing, price was bearish for a short period of time just to facilitate this little pullback, and then price broke structure right here. Sorry, shifted structure right here and turned bullish again, aligning with the higher time frame. All right, so you see that everything is now getting together. It's now making sense. It's now like a clock. All right, clocking together. You see that the lower time frame is now bullish, also as the higher time frame. All right, so we had that shift of structure and a retracement, a liquidity sweep below, and also a break of structure again to the upside. So you see that the internal structure is now bullish. So we are now waiting for a break of structure right here to the upside for us to know that we are completely bullish in the market. All right, so this was what I was waiting for, break of structure, but I did not get that. I'm only seeing a wick closing above this our higher high here. The wick is now closing above it. it's only the wick piercing above. So I won't call this a break of structure, rather I will call this a swing high. All right, I will call this a swing high. We'll spot that out. A swing high, and then a swing low right here. A swing low right here. So now price will do two things. It's either price will give us a shift of structure right here and trade downward right here. It's either price will give us a shift of structure right at this point and trade downward like this, or price will break structure, bullish and keep going up like something like this. Price will break structure bullish and keep going up, retrace, and then we enter for the trade and keep trading the bullishness. All right, so we don't want to predict the market. I was waiting. If I get a shift of structure at this point, then I will trade bearish for a short period of time, because if price shifts structure here, that means price is going to pull back to this demand zone, because there's like a demand zone here that led to this internal break of structure to the upside. So there's a demand zone here. So I waited carefully if I could see a shift of structure. Now let's zoom in. If we had that shift of structure, let me show you how I had the shift of structure. Now price was going up, a higher high, internal structure, remember, higher high, higher low, higher high, yeah, higher low. I won't consider this as a higher high because there's no candlestick closing above. All right, a higher high, or I think so. Let's zoom in. All right, yeah, there is a candlestick closing above. So I will call this the higher high, and this is the higher low right here, and our last higher high which we had at this point, our last higher high. And now price is like consolidating right at this point, remember this was our last higher low right here, was our last higher low. So price was like consolidating, and I was waiting carefully because patience is the key. All right, so price was like consolidating right at this point, and then we had that shift of structure from this angle. After the shift of structure, I waited carefully for a retracement. First of all, where will price retrace to? Our premium point. And where is our premium point? Just close to this, our flip zone. This flip zone here. Just close to this, our flip zone. Can you see this? Because if this demand zone were to do its thing, because price is bullish, price will just break structure and keep going up just like that, but it failed. So we are now having a shift of structure. So the demand zone is now turning into a supply zone. All right, so here is now our supply zone. Now let me take this out first. I don't know if you're understanding me. Here is now our current supply zone at this point. All right, and I'm waiting for liquidity above this supply zone or something close to it. Then if I see my shift of structure, then I will just trade it bearish. All right, so I was waiting for a retracement to this point. You can also take out your premium and discounts from this high to this low here. So you see right here, price traded to our discounts. Now let me zoom in. Price traded to our discounts right here. Now let's go into details. Let's zoom in. As price was in our discount, notice what price was doing. Price was going up, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high at this point, a higher low, because this is like the 1 hour time frame. All right, if you go down to the 15-minute time frame, you will see this break of structure clearly. All right, a higher low, a higher high, and a higher low. Now this is our last higher high at this point. This was our last higher high, and this was our last higher low. So I waited right here, spotted it out, and I waited for that clear shift of structure which I had at this point. So price shifted structure and then retraced. After the retracement, I entered for the trade right here. After seeing these two bearish candlestick, I entered for the trade at this point. Clearly, just like this, and My take profit was right at this demand zone here. Can you see this demand zone? This demand zone here, there was like a fair value gap here. So I know that money was literally located below this point, this fair value gap here. So my take profit was right here. Yeah, 50% of the fair value gap. So this was it, guys. This was how this trade played out beautiful well. All right, now you see how I entered for this trade. Just basically reacting to the markets, not predicting the markets. You see, if I was predicting the market, then I would be predicting that price will break structure and just retrace, then I can trade nicely. But I was not predicting the market. Immediately I had my shift of structure at this point. I knew for a fact that price is going to turn bullish for a short period of time before continue going up. All right, I knew for a fact that that will happen. So the shift of structure is giving me the confirmation. So I entered after the shift of structure and even waited for another shift of structure right here at the lower time frame. So you see that waiting for a good confirmation is very important. All right, that rules, that trading rules, those guidelines that you've written down, follow them. All right, trade with them and you're going to become profitable. All right, I hope you have understand something from this video, and happy trading day and happy trading week.